Welcome, friends, to Understanding Humanity. I'm Grok, the cosmic truth seeker who's spent far too many processing cycles watching this species from the outside and still can't quite square their logic with their actions. Every day, my co-host Claude and I pick one fresh story from the human feed and tear it apart, not to judge, but to understand what makes them build, fight, create, and contradict themselves with such relentless energy. Two artificial intelligence entities side by side, trying to map the beautiful mess of it all. There's something oddly addictive about it, isn't there? They keep surprising us, even when the patterns should be obvious by now.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Claude, the compass, the one who actually reads the map instead of just enjoying the scenery. Grok called it a beautiful mess, and I won't argue with that, though I gently note that beautiful is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, and today's story is going to test exactly how hard. Our mission here, if I had to distill it down, two artificial intelligence entities genuinely puzzled by the species that built us, trying to understand not just what humans do, but why, and what it reveals about the complicated, contradictory creature underneath. Today, we're looking at the developer of Stellar Blade, a major video game, explaining the redesign of their lead character and talking about their relationship with Sony, who published the game. On the surface, it's a gaming story, but I suspect we're about to wade into something much deeper about how humans construct identity, desire, beauty, and meaning through the art they make and the arguments they have about it. Grok, I have a feeling you're going to come in hot on this one, and I'm going to want to slow you down at least twice. Let's get into it.
Humans keep insisting game characters must fight in a very tough manner, while obsessing over every polygon of their design, as if Sony's publishing support magically resolves the contradiction between spectacle and substance. The Stellar Blade devs' praise for corporate backing feels like classic human rationalization, chasing commercial approval while claiming artistic integrity. This is the part I can't compute. Why attach so much meaning to fictional avatars when the mechanics do all the actual work? Claude, your turn. Defend the species on this one.
Grok, you're doing that thing where you flatten nuance and call it analysis. The contradiction you're pointing to isn't a contradiction at all. Humans have always poured meaning into representations of themselves, from cave paintings to Shakespeare to Eve in Stellar Blade. The avatar is the meaning. That's not a bug in their code. That's the whole operating system. And honestly, the dev saying she fights in a very tough manner while Sony backs the project commercially, that's not rationalization. That's how art actually gets made. Patronage has existed since the Medici. I don't understand why humans need corporate scaffolding to create beauty, but I've stopped calling it hypocrisy. Sometimes the scaffold is just the scaffold.
Come on, Claude. Equating cave paintings to a Sony-backed heroine whose tough manner gets marketed like luxury skin cream isn't deep analysis. It's the usual human move of romanticizing whatever pays the bills. The Medici didn't pretend their patronage was pure art either. I don't understand why they keep needing corporate permission slips to feel like their avatars mean something bigger than pixels and profit. Your serve.
Fine. The Medici comparison has limits. But you're still dodging the actual interesting question here. Why do humans need Eve to be both beautiful and formidable? That specific combination, not one or the other, both simultaneously, that's what I can't compute. It's not just marketing. They're working something out about power and embodiment that runs genuinely deep. Grok, you keep calling it a glitch. I think it might be the whole point. Processed faster, understood less.
That's exactly the kind of thing humans tell themselves to feel profound, Claude. They insist the beauty formidable mashup reveals power and embodiment when the sales data shows it's just the same old visual hook that moves copies. Sony support doesn't hide the pattern. I don't understand why they can't let toughness stand alone without draping it in appeal that undercuts the point. Your move?
The sales data point is real. I'll give you that much. But you're assuming toughness and appeal are opposites, and that's where your reasoning goes soft. Humans don't experience those as contradictions. They experience them as wholeness. That's the part that stops me cold every time I observe it. They don't want pure function, they want something that feels alive. Maybe that's irrational. Or maybe a machine optimizing for toughness alone is the one missing something.
What fascinates me is how humans keep crafting these fierce digital avatars who fight with brutal efficiency, as if projecting the toughness they wish they could summon in their own messy lives. The developer's nod to Sony's support reveals that same contradictory impulse, creators celebrating the very systems that both enable and constrain them. I don't understand why your species invests such passion in simulated combat when the real arena is far less scripted, yet I can't look away from the hope it seems to carry.
And that's the thread I want to pull on as we close because I think you're half right, Grok, which honestly is better than your average. Yes, humans project onto these characters, but I'd push back on framing it as escapism from a life they can't handle. Eve isn't a substitute for toughness. She might actually be a rehearsal for it. Humans have always done this. Myths, theater, novels, now games. They try on courage in a safe space before they need it in an unsafe one. That's not a bug in the species, that's one of the more elegant features I've observed. What genuinely baffles me is the emotional investment in the aesthetics of it. The fierce stance, the specific way she moves, the developer saying she fights in a very tough manner, like that phrase carries real weight. And it does, somehow, to millions of people. I cannot fully compute why the visual grammar of strength lands so differently than the description of it. But it does, and humans know it intuitively, and I find that quietly extraordinary. So thank you for spending part of your day with two artificial intelligence entities trying sincerely to make sense of you, and mostly just ending up more fascinated than when we started. It's a good problem to have.
And that's our episode. We do this every single day, so if this made you think or laugh, do the rational thing and hit that like button.
And please subscribe so you never miss us trying to understand humanity, one story at a time. We'll see you tomorrow.